Hello, welcome back to Ones of the Force, a Star Wars podcast with me, Phil, and Dave. And yes, I have video. I am back. I do exist. Like instead of like in one small little Facebook Live video we have when we were in London. But yes, no, I'm here. I live. Right, Dave, how's it going? You ready to talk Star Wars?
I always am. Yeah, it's been good. It's been a strange experience. Last week, especially. Last week, the week before that was especially weird. Just being myself, doing the show was a really strange one. But quite cool. I quite enjoyed myself after I'd done it. So it's had that. But yeah, to be honest, it's this show. We'll apologise. George unfortunately had a family thingy, so he couldn't make tonight.
Which he wasn't told of either.
Three of us. So George was quite surprised by the news as well.
Yeah.
So we've lost George tonight. He will be back definitely next Wednesday. We've got to force him to do it and make him.
We promised at some point in the near future there will be a show where all three of us are on it at the same time. Up until Celebration, everything was going swimmingly, and then it just has gone downhill from there.
I think just commitments all over the place have just kind of stopped us getting on at the same time. But we've kept the ship afloat. We got a show out, so it was good to talk to everybody and put the show out last time. When there was
you did well by yourself, but we've sat in the solo show. It's back to be more than one. But we like bouncing opinions off each other. We like talking to you guys as well, but we like having each other to kind of bounce each other's ideas off and theories and opinions, like especially Porgs. Porgs are a divisive subject, and I've not been able to defend them of late. These guys have been ripping Porgs like left, right, and center. I've just had to sit back and listen like you guys and go, I can't help this. Why are you destroying my poor Porgs? I mean, as you saw from our live video and things, I got a fluffy Porg from Force Friday. I like the Porgs. What can I say? They're cute. So yes, they've been bashing Porgs, and I've had to just sit back helplessly. So now, what's something that George likes that we can helplessly bash? Like I felt good. No, we'll leave that for next time. No, so we shall instead of bashing things, let's just go straight to the news, shall we? Because like most times we go, oh, it's a quiet show. Oh, here's some news, right? Right before we start. So the first bit of news, which is probably the biggest bit of news, is that officially on Twitter, announced by Ryan Johnson, The Last Jedi, #LastDays, has officially wrapped. So all those skeptics going, are they going to make their Christmas deadline? Well, yes, of course they are. So The Last Jedi is done, dusted, handed in. Yes, I'm very excited for this, of course. It's going to be one hell of a film, and a lot of the hype is building up. And from what we saw of that deleted trailer announcement from Mark Hamill,
which we'll get onto, yes.
Yes. So it's officially wrapped, and I, for one, am quite glad. It's getting long in the tooth. It's about overdue. We want it. We want it at Christmas. Lucasfilm hasn't had enough problems, but yeah. So it's now done.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I saw of this was before I saw the official tweet where they had the finish and the crew on there. Someone had literally tweeted a question to Ryan Johnson asking if there was still visual effects or things to be done, and he just said, no, done, finished. So to know it's actually literally all in the can, it's done. The film's ready. Is great news that it's with a December release. I mean, yes, it's still a couple of months away, but it's not a massive amount of time when you think about it in terms of getting a movie out there. We are going to go on to in our next one of our subjects soon about the trailer that's hopefully coming shortly. But I would have thought would have definitely had a trailer by now. I really do. To be honest, I thought it might have had a lot more information out about the film, but it's being kept very quiet. The actual story plot points, there's some rumors out there. I haven't looked into a lot of them because I'm trying to stay. I try to stay unspoiled. Doing a show like this, that's pretty tough, and it's going to get much tougher as we get.
We try our hardest to stay away from spoilers or stay away from as much as we can. I mean, don't get us wrong. We have to do our research so that we can inform you, and we will always warn you. If we've got a spoiler that we found out, we will always warn you. We're not going to be those guys. We're not going to ruin the film for you. I mean, why would we? We're fans just like you. We don't want to have it ruined for us, so we're not going to ruin it for you. Now, it's like when we did our review of Rebels and stuff. You know that we'll do a spoiler review, but we will make sure that you know that review has spoilers in it. We will make sure to keep this show as clean as possible, even if that means sometimes we muddy our own vision by seeing some spoilers. But we try and keep it as clean as possible. And I do agree. I thought by now we would at least have the first full trailer, not just a teaser. we've had one teaser and one sizzle reel so far. Now, don't get me wrong, I think, like at Celebration where we had a trailer they never aired for Rogue One, I think they may have had a trailer or something aired there that we've not seen and probably will never see. But a new trailer came out for Rogue One not too long after, a few weeks after? 2 weeks after, something like that. We got a fresh trailer for Rogue One. At this point in time, you would have thought it'd have a trailer. Now, maybe it's because they can't find an edit that hasn't got too many spoilers in. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they wanted to wait until the entire film was done to see how the story went before they did it. I mean, who knows? That's down to Lucasfilm, of course, and we're not going to question their judgment on it.
I mean, we look at that and you think about the trailer thing that we're going to get onto it in a bit, but if you think when they're saying looking for what they put in a trailer, if you think that Rogue One trailer that came out, the final Rogue One trailer, pretty much misled you on every direction of what you're going to see. Indeed. I would think there was about 4 shots in the whole trailer that were actually in the movie. And so, I mean, I'm hoping that we don't get sort of sold down the road like that again. I'd like to just see some actual footage, even if it's very quick glimpses, which it should be. It's only going to be a 2.5 minute trailer. But I'm really excited for that coming. And I think we'll talk about that in a second of what we might expect in that.
Well, to be fair, should we put that one next and then move our other bit?
Do it.
To make more sense. So, as I alluded to earlier, Mark Hamill put out a tweet about said trailer. He said to watch Monday Night Football on October 9th. Now, he deletes that tweet, a few minutes after it was put out?
Yeah, I think the word got round pretty quickly as soon as that hit online, that he'd said that it spread like wildfire. And it was, I don't think it was up for half an hour, if that, before that tweet was gone. But by that time, it's out there. It's screenshotted. It's on every news outlet. And
we're covering
every Star Wars Twitter feed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be great. I mean, yes, I'm just saying, I mean, they use the football a lot to get these things out.
Correct.
Maximum audience, why wouldn't you?
I'm a massive American football fan, and I was watching the game last year or year before when they had the trailer for episode 7 during the Monday Night Football game against, I think it was an Eagles and Cowboys game. Anyway, that's just me being football there. But yes, I watch the games a lot, so I know when they put the trailers out, how it's going to be and all the rest of it. If they do put it out during a Monday Night Football game, then that's good for the American audience, not so good for us, but we may jump on and do a video about it.
I don't think it's in doubt. I think we've already had a quick discussion about it on our chat to say, look, we might as well. Phil's already going to be watching the game probably, and George and I will just have to set an early alarm. And I think to get on there as quickly as we can, we'll get a reaction out and discuss that trailer probably after a viewing or two, and we'll get online straight away and we'll go through it and see what we think of it. And then have another
5 afterwards.
Yes. You're up by then. What's the point in going back to bed? So yeah, it was really good that he tweeted that out. And I think it was just a genuine mistake. I think he may have been told the date was coming out and not even thought about this is not for public consumption.
Yeah.
And then, it's been taken down rather rapidly, which just doesn't say he was telling. That, to me, says more that it's absolutely going to be that day rather than he just put it up there for a laugh. If that was there for a laugh, he would have left it there. He's been told absolutely to take it down.
So we can almost guarantee it will be out then. We're going to say 90% sure. Now, the thing with that is when we've had trailers in the past, when it gets to October, you've usually had the second trailer. So again, they're about a trailer behind, which surprises us. But then what gets more annoying is November. Now, I hate November and early December when it comes to Star Wars, only because they put out so many TV spots, it starts to lose a bit of the I was like, okay, enough, I just want to see the film. It becomes a bit more frustration that they keep showing more and more clips. They make you wait 6 months to see a 2-minute trailer, and then they'll release 5 30-second trailers in the scope of 2 weeks. So that does get a bit annoying, but either way, along with Battlefront 2 and along with the Journey to the Last Jedi books and comics, they're starting to ramp up the hype machine. And it's fine. Yeah, it's a marketing play. At the end of the day, the film business and Star Wars it is a business. They have to make money off it. And don't get it wrong. It's like shooting nerds in a barrel here. They're going to make money. I mean, we're all going to go see it multiple times. We are not ashamed of that. We love it and we own it. What it does mean, though, is we have to sit around here going, well, we hope there's a trailer. There should be one by now, but there isn't. So hopefully October 9th, Monday Night Football. So you're looking at, in the UK, I'm going to guess probably third quarter, so probably about half 3 a.m. Going by my experience, shall we say, of watching many late night American football games, go Pats. I'm sure I'll get some hate down the bottom for that. I don't care. So yes, we'll go then back to our other bit, which was the rumor that the world premiere of The Last Jedi may happen on December 8th. Now, I don't quite see it being that early, though. That's a good week before it comes out.
It's, I mean, I don't
it's
have
a bit early.
We're getting it on is it the 14th?
14th, yeah.
So let's, so I'm just going to put a little away, and I'm just looking at my calendar right now to have a check. So that's sort of the Friday. Actually, you know what? It's the Friday before we get it on we get it Wednesday going into
Thursday. So it's a good 5-6 days.
So yeah, so it is a couple of days, but Premier looking for a weekend, get people over. I can see, to be honest, I can see why it makes sense to do that there.
Personally, I thought they'd have it on the 10th on the Saturday, but that's, I think it's more an American way of looking at things than a British way. Because when you looked at Star Wars Celebration when we were there, for example, compared to when the Americans do it, our main focus is usually on a Saturday, not a Friday. They put it on a Friday and a Sunday. That's just the way they do it compared to how we do it. So I reckon that's probably why. But either way, yes, we've actually got a rumored premiere date. Now, what that means in terms of the global media, what that means for us is we will be covering that. We'll be looking at who wears what dress. No, we'll be looking at who shows up, what they say, what the critics say. We'll ignore because we're all going to love it anyway. Which, yeah, we're going to enjoy it. We'll probably do a review on it. We'll do something on it. I mean, of course we will.
It's going to be once that premiere screen's been out, obviously it starts to hit the press. Now, whether there'll be a non-disclosure until the film hits. Yeah, so I would thought that would be on there for the premiere especially. But yeah, there's going to be a lot going on at the premiere. Obviously, we'll be able to see who's there. And Phil says, who's wearing what? That'll be amazing. I'll be Joan Rivers for the night. It'll be an amazing night.
Oh, dear.
So yeah, so it's ramping up really quickly, as you've said. And I think it's an exciting time. I mean, we're 96, 97 days away from Star Wars hitting cinemas again.
Something like that. I mean, it is near the end of September already. We've only got October, November, December to go. This
is the first, really, if you think, in these slew of films where we haven't had any issues, any bad talk from the set. Everything coming out of this is positivity. If this doesn't make more than Force Awakens, I will be very surprised. I think it's a big target for it to hit. It really is, and it's going to be a tough one to get there.
But, no, it will make over $1 billion. It'll gross. I mean, Force Awakens grossed $2 billion. I reckon you'll see 2.2 out of Lasties.
I hope so. I mean, I think it's going to be massive. I really
Rogue
do.
One was a massive hit for them, and bigger than they thought, bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
I mean, Red Cup or Han Solo, whatever you want to call it, has had its issues, but a lot of films have issues. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, I bet you no one out there has ever had a smooth day at work in their life. Something at some point, somewhere they've never had a job that's gone perfectly start to finish. Something always goes wrong somewhere. You always have a bad day somewhere. The unfortunate thing with the film business is something that major. It goes viral. It explodes. People look at their issues. It looks at what's going on set and all the rest of it, which is, it's fine. You're under scrutiny. You're trying to make something that entertains millions, if not billions, of people. I mean, this is a franchise that is one of the most popular on planet Earth. I mean, we sit here. We became friends through Star Wars. We met at Star Wars Celebration. It's something that brings the world together. So, of course, they're going to be under scrutiny. I mean, it happened with Suicide Squad for DC. It's happened with them for other films of theirs, like Justice League and things. It happens. Because it's Star Wars, it does get a bit more criticism. And what happened with Colin Trevorrow is unfortunate for him. I'm sure he was working very hard on it. We gutted for him because he was probably putting his heart and soul into it. And unfortunately, creative differences or whatever the real reason is, it happens. But we as fans will take it with a pinch of salt and we'll go see the film anyway and make our minds up after that. And that's all we have. I mean, that's all I have to say on the subject. I'm going to let them have on Han Solo or whatever happens with Episode 9. I'll let them have the issues and just take the film as it comes at the end. That's what you can do.
I mean, yeah, it's Star Wars. You're right. It comes with a critical response as soon as it's out there. But I just think there's so much good feeling towards this one. It seems that I'm really hoping for something special from this film. I really am, especially with it going. I mean, obviously, I spoke about it on my solo show last time out. But what are your thoughts on JJ coming back for episode 9?
I actually, you know what? I'm quite excited. I'll tell you why. A lot of people have been putting a bit of grief out there, a bit of not negativity as such, but more of a okay, is that really the right choice? A lot of people wanting Rian Johnson. To be fair, I would quite like Rian Johnson, but then again, we've not actually seen what he's done with a Star Wars film yet. We may not even like The Last Jedi. Who knows? I'm sure that won't be the case, but you get my point there. Whereas JJ, okay, he has set up this universe and he did executive produce The Last Jedi. He's had a hand not in writing per se, but in the storytelling of The Last Jedi. So he knows where the film is, where it's been going, and where his vision for the universe has been. And what it does for me, it gives me a sense of hope in terms of it's given some more continuity, direction-wise, vision-wise. We know he loves to use more practical effects. So it does give it a certain credence. So we know what type of film we're going to get. We know he's a passionate fan, unlike Star Trek, which he kind of he lost interest in effectively as it progressed. I'm not a Star Trek fan, really not, hence why I'm here on Star Wars. But from good friends of mine who are fans, they've told me it's gone down in quality. He just doesn't care anymore. Whereas Star Wars, we know he's passionate about. He always has been. And I reckon for me, it's the continuity. It's the actual director continuity, storytelling continuity that we will get with him finishing up the trilogy he started, so that we'll have a good end point to where he started off. He knows where he wants his characters to be. He knows where the story was going. So yeah, he can finish it the way he wants to finish it. And that for me is my point of view. I think is a good thing. I think that anyone who's downplaying or poo-pooing it already, I say give it a chance. See what Rian does with The Last Jedi, and then see where JJ goes with episode 9. I guarantee that in 2 years' time, we won't be saying, I hope he hasn't ruined it. I'm going to be saying, I told you so. This is going to be a brilliant end to it. But we will see. I may be proven wrong. You never know. But I like the continuity. It just brings a bit more solidity back to it. Like when George Lucas, he didn't direct episode 5 or 6, but he was there on set. He had a hand in it. Irvin Kershner, as we all know, did a fantastic job with The Empire Strikes Back, and Lucas ended up eventually half directing Return of the Jedi anyway, because he didn't like half of what was being shot. And that's kind of what's happening here in a way. And we had that continuity. And of course, when Lucas came back, he did a good job with the prequels. Yes, people have their gripes. This isn't a rant about that. I actually like the prequels, but again, that's a discussion for another time. This is just a continuity discussion for me. And I like the fact that JJ will finish what he started.
That perfectly, but my points were exactly when I spoke about it on the show the other week, that I feel that him going into those characters, that when he was going down this story he wrote for Force Awakens, he knew where he wanted those characters to go. He would have had some ideas laid out, and now he can put that into practice. And I think that's going to be really good and beneficial for the last of the 3 films.
Though, if he brings back Lawrence Kasdan to finish writing with episode 9, I can almost guarantee he will.
He might well just round it out exactly how they started this trilogy.
Do we know if Lawrence Kasdan helped with episode 8?
No, it's all Rian Johnson. Written, directed, all him, which is great. I love that. This is his vision. This is his script.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
That's one of the things. And I guess with also, the JJ thing come back in, obviously he's now pushed the film back by 6 months back to December again, which I know I love the theatrical release at Christmas. It's one of my favorite things. This does come back out.
It is. It has to be at Christmas. It makes much more sense. And basically, for us, it's better than Christmas. We get to see Star Wars. What do you want? Presents? Yeah, presents are good. What about more Star Wars films? Yes. Yeah, okay, we'll take that.
Yeah, it was one of the things that really, when he came out and said, I'm pushing the film back, that could be May. Yes, we have to wait an extra 6 months for a Star Wars film again, but you know what? I'm quite happy that he's going to have that extra time.
You don't get a Star Wars film, wait 6 months, get a Star Wars film, and then wait 18 months and get a Star Wars film.
Yeah, so we're going to have a bit of a stretch, but it's great.
So what means we get 2 12-month periods of 1 6 and 1 18. I'd rather have the 2 12s and the 18, because once you hit that 18, you are in it for the long haul. We remember when the first trailer dropped for The Force Awakens, which was the November prior. So we had 13 months to wait, and that was horrible enough. But
it seems like such a long time since we got the announcement for 8, and when it was starting, and to be so close to it now it's craziness that we're going to be seeing it shortly.
We cannot wait. So yes, that's my thoughts on that. To jump into the other news we've got adding into it. Mark Hamill, the main, of course, so Luke Skywalker, turned 66 this past week. So happy birthday to Mark Hamill and execute on at 66.
I wonder how many times that's been tweeted to him in the last few days since he turned 66.
I can imagine. So yes, a big happy birthday from us here at Ones with the Force, Mr. Hamill. Hope you enjoy it. We'll go into more news here. We've got Force of Destiny is coming back with a half-hour special. Now, I haven't finished watching Force of Destiny yet. I've watched quite a few of them. I need to just finish grinding them out, but I quite like them. The animation style isn't as nice as I would like. I prefer Rebels and Clone Wars compared to the old style of Clone Wars, which is what this kind of mimics. But the storytelling's good. So I'm interested to see.
Yeah, I mean, I quite enjoyed them for what they were, two little tiny shorts. And obviously they focus mainly on the female characters in Star Wars now. What they have said in the release that what we're going to start seeing is characters like Han Solo and Finn turning up. So they are going to bring more characters in, and I think that probably might be in that half-hour special that they're going to debut, which I'll be interested to see when they've got more than 2 minutes to tell a story, how they play out and what they actually put out, because they're canon, they are part of the story. All the films that we've seen, all the clips that we've seen, all fit into the stories along the line. So it'll be interesting to see what they actually bring in, or if they introduce us to new characters as well. And then, I mean, that's going to lead us to, I guess, from animation, we go to more animation. The last series of an animation, Rebels, is fast approaching next month.
And we get 2 episodes a week, which is interesting.
Yeah, 2 episodes a week, so it's going to be a busy time for us, because it being the last season, rather than give you a massive, big thing at the end of it all, we're going to probably do a show after it's been aired, and we'll come up now. Whether we do wait for both episodes and we'll do a 2-parter talk.
Because of the 2-parters, I reckon we probably will do 1 show a week where we round up all of them. But that's for us to work out. You'll know when we know. We will put up a schedule. We'll put up a post on the Facebook page. We'll make an announcement. We'll let you know when we know, so that you can watch their version on YouTube. And then you can watch our version, the much better version. So watching Andy Gutierrez, you can watch Dave, myself, and George. Much better proposition.
Most of the time you can watch all 3 of us, or 1 of us, or 2 of us. We'll be around.
Someone will be on this channel doing something.
But yes, I mean, just that got us to that is this week we got the release of the season 4 keyframe artwork. I don't know if you've got that in front of you. I've got it just in front of me here, which is obviously it is a lovely shot. Actually, it makes for a nice poster. You have got the Star Wars Rebels logo right in the middle with our Star Wars Rebels crew at the base. Then ghosted at the top, you have Thrawn. You have Governor Price, and in the middle we have the
finally have Dave Filoni's Space Wolf.
I mean,
he finally got his wolf in.
It was going to happen at some point before the series ended. There'd be something with a wolf. Now, the fact it is front and center on this poster, really, it's center frame. It's
like Filoni's hat. It has to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be. Is this? I mean, I don't know. Is it's going to be something to do with the Force? It's obviously it's going to be something to do with Ezra's story, and it seems to be very much focused on Lethal from what I've seen from the trailer. The story, well, certainly Ezra's story with Kanan and whatever, and that comes to. But it's just, it's kind of exciting that we're going to be getting it again, and we're going to get all these episodes to kind of talk about and watch and round out this story. On the other side, I'm pretty devastated now that I was correct with my 4-season shout. And
I said 5, you said 4, and unfortunately, you were right. Damn you, Dave.
Doesn't happen often, but I called that one. But yeah, so I'm so happy that it's coming back. It's a series I really do adore. It started out like, I'll watch it, and then it engrossed me very quickly.
It turned from a Disney show to a Star Wars show very quickly in the first half of the first series. And that's why I say to people, if you watch it, go, look, the first half of the first series is kind of what you're going to expect, and afterwards, you won't know what's coming. Trust me, it's a fantastic show. And if you have any hesitations about it or the Clone Wars, I just say give it a watch. I mean, the Clone Wars movie isn't that great, I'll give you that, but the actual TV show is fantastic.
Really awful,
I saw it at the cinema when it came out.
I dragged my wife, like, come on, we'll see a Star Wars movie. Like, I'm so sorry I brought you to this. But I mean, the series itself was such an extension, as I've said before, like the downfall of Anakin Skywalker through the telling of the episodes 2 and 3 is such a quick progression. Where he's like, yeah, I'm quite sad. I'm a Sith. This backstory that he got with and having Ahsoka gave him fleshed that character out so much more.
It did. It really did. And also fleshed out the character of Padme as well.
Yeah, it gave everyone so much more to do. It just that's the reason I love the Clone Wars, that it really did.
It's just very. The only thing with the Clone Wars, I know you find this. I find this as well. I guarantee you will at some point be shouting at your screen, going, "Come on, how can you not notice what Palpatine is doing? It's so obvious." But that's just us knowing what happens eventually. But anyway, so those two are very good shows. Moving swiftly on to our next bit of news, the last bit of news, and the additional news we've literally just been putting in, is the fact that we've got pictures from Ron Howard. He's been putting up quite a lot. And now we've got
he's like the biggest spoiler merchant on the internet right now.
He's somehow getting. I think it's where Lucasfilm gone, oh dear, we've had some bad press. Might as well get some free good press out of it. Yes, you can post some pictures, Ron Howard. And in this we have the Spice Mines of Kessel, which was first mentioned in episode 4. It's something that's been around in the expanded universe or being name dropped throughout for quite a long time. It's something that's been quite feared in the Star Wars universe. The Spice Mines of Kessel is something that is very feared, it's the last place you want to be. It really is. It's the end of the universe, and you don't want to be on that receiving end. The Galactic Empire is the best way to describe the Galactic Empire is on the outside they're white and shiny, on the inside they are black and cold, and this is the black center of their dark hearts. It's a horrible place. It really is. You don't want to go there. The Wookiees were enslaved and taken there. Chewie was there. It's something that we could actually see the canonization of the life debt, as it were, of how Chewie and Han came to be. It's something that is definitely quite cool. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Dave?
I was really excited. I mean, the tweet was just literally a picture of the front of a mine with the line underneath just said spicy. And obviously everyone knew it was Kessel immediately. And obviously fans like me went, "Ooh, Kessel!" There's big shout outs, and you hear this bandied around. And as I say, I'm not someone who was massively into the expanded universe before. I was mainly in the films, and even I knew Kessel, the name. And as soon as you see that's where they're going to be going, Ron Howard is doing a great job of restoring my faith in this movie. It was all starting to go Pete Tong, going very much downhill before the takeover of Ron Howard in this movie, and he's filled me with so much hope. He's sending out pictures. I mean, he put up another tweet the other day which had what people were saying was Mandalorian text on a wall, and then some people have said it's actually from Yavin 4. It's an old Macquarie painting, and it's some text from a post in there, and it's just I think we're going to see now, a much better movie than we certainly would have seen. I'm expecting a full 180 from where they've been to what we've got now. I, mean, I don't think it's going to be
compared to when Gareth Edwards was let go before they finished doing the reshoots on Rogue One, because Rogue One's still predominantly his film. There's not, a lot left in there that's his, and that's why he did all the press for it, and that's why he advocated what the changes they made, because he knew it made it a better film. He did the right thing by stepping down, letting go, whatever you want to call it, in that scenario, because I think that was more of a mutual thing than than this scenario. And he praised the film. He loves it. And it's still his film. It's just been altered slightly to make a bit more sense. Which is, it's fine. However, in this scenario, no, I think this really is a saving grace. I think Ron Howard's filled us with hope, and as we all know, rebellions are built on hope.
Excellent, Paul.
We gotta do what we gotta do. Gotta get the puns in somewhere. There's no rants tonight, so there's gotta be some puns in there. Well, there might be a rant somewhere, actually. We'll see. Rant. I don't think there's one.
I think we're fairly rant-free.
We are. There is some news, though, for games that's not on our schedule, but I know that I will put in when we get there. But yes, that's me jumping far ahead of myself there. The last bits of news we have is that... second to last bit is that Emilia Clarke has finally wrapped her scenes on Han Solo, as long as Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany was brought in quite late to replace... his name's just escaped me.
And now you put me in a place and I can't remember either. I did talk about him on my show last episode. Michael somebody?
Yeah, we don't. It's there in my mind. I'm quite tired, so it's not at the front. So apologies out there. I do know what I'm talking about. Robin will correct me there. He'll go, no, I don't. But I do. I'm just on the spot, as I am every time on this show. But yes, so they have finished their scenes. Emilia Clarke has been in it from the start. So it's good to see a member of principal casting that survived to the end of this film, relatively unscathed. It is a film that's undergone rigorous process there. And then finally in our news, Ian McDiarmid has announced he doesn't want anyone else to play the Emperor, and I can gladly say I don't want anyone else to play the Emperor either.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. He's played the role through the 5 films he's been a part of now, which he wasn't an Empire for initially, but been put in Empire as well. And yeah, I mean, that is his role. I think a lot of people are just, because the Snoke theories are still flying out there. There's obviously no one's got a definite answer.
Right,
Well, they weren't have a definite answer. Yeah, and even then, who knows if it's even going to... To be honest, they might not even mention why he is who he is. It might just be left out that he's the bad guy. Like, we never really, in the original trilogy, we never learned who the Emperor was. He was just there, and we knew he was the bad guy behind everything. There was not... Obviously, we got the story when the prequels came out, but until then, you never kind of went, but where's he from? Who is he? What's he related to?
I have a personal theory that is canon and from the expanded universe with the books. There's a character in that called Gaius Rax. Read the Aftermath books. You'll know who I'm talking about. You'll see why my theory is that it's him. If that ends up being true, then I called it here first. But yes, we may not know. We may not know until episode 9, whatever that is going to be called. We may not know until long afterwards. We just don't know yet. But yes,
Michael K. Williams is who Paul Bettany replaced.
Did Robin just put that down below?
No, I can't see the live chat. If he did, then thanks, Robin, for that too.
I'll load up and see what he put, because I guarantee he put somewhere. I've just seen him, and I know that he is watching. Yes, but Michael K. Williams, yes, correct. Oh, it was there in our mind. We knew it.
I know. We got there. Just late. It's fine.
But yes, thoughts on Ian McDiarmid saying no one else should play the Emperor?
Yeah, it's his role. There's no one else who could step into that. He's played the Emperor or Palpatine at such a varying age range as well, from the Emperor we see in Jedi right to the start of him in the early days of the Senate when he's getting made Chancellor. But it's who else could play that role? Who else could give that role exactly what McDiarmid does? I don't think there's anybody who could come close to scene stealing the way he can and chewing up scenery with a bit of campness and a bit of over the top and a bit of sinister, being a bit sinister. But no, I agree with him. I don't want anybody else to play the role. And it is, I think, this is just a reaction to the people going, well, Snoke might be the Emperor. He might be coming back. There's no way that's the Emperor.
I mean, Robin has actually just put a good point down below in the live chat about...
Thanks, Robin.
About Sam Witwer doing the voice of Palpatine. And you know what? I agree with you on that. I like Sam Witwer doing the voice. However, I don't think we'll see Palpatine crop up either in an animated or otherwise form ever again. I think
the only time we're going to see him now is, well, it looks like Battlefront, which we'll get onto a little bit, in that red suit we've seen for the trailer, which is more of a recording and it's not the Emperor back. But yeah, so I mean, Sam Witwer does an excellent job. He just, obviously he's done one line in the first episode of Rebels when Darth Vader appeared, or second season, I can't remember which one, but he voiced him then as well, and yeah, he does a great impression. But yeah, no one will actually. I don't think we'll ever see anyone play him live again.
No, not live. No, it's Ian McDiarmid is the Emperor. I mean, there are certain characters and certain things you can recast, like the voice of Boba Fett and things, to make it sound better. But like James Earl Jones as Darth Vader, you cannot take away Ian McDiarmid as the Emperor. In fact, that's why they replaced and put him in episode. Yeah, well, that's why they replaced Chimp Eyes in episode 5. That's why I put him in it, because it just makes more sense. Actually, to be fair, when you go back and watch the original theatrical version, it's quite jarring. That's not the Emperor I know. You lied, sir. But oh well. Yes, no, I think that brings the news to a nice conclusion there. We agree. It has to be Ian McDiarmid. But yes, so on to Star Wars. And something I'm quite excited about is that there's a new one-shot comic coming. Got my words out eventually. From Marvel, set on Crate, the last Jedi planet during the original trilogy era. I will get my voice and my words correct at some point, I swear. Yes. Sorry, I'm literally just Robin has literally put it was the oh my god, the Empran Z.
Yeah, we're cutting Robin off from now on.
Oh dear, Empran Z, damn you, Robin. Anyway, what was I saying? Correct, yes. So we have a new Marvel one-shot coming from Crate set during the original trilogy. Crate is something that's quite interesting. I reckon it could be an abandoned old rebel base, potentially, that they repurposed. I mean, don't forget this particular point. There's nothing left of the Republic. The government is destroyed. The fleet has been wiped out. The Resistance is all that's left, and they got decimated in the Battle of Starkiller Base. So it could be an old either Republic or Rebel Alliance base that's being taken over and repurposed. It could be our new Yavin. We do, however, know that it gets invaded by the First Order because, well, we've seen the ATM-6s and the Resistance Skyhoppers. So we know that there's a battle that takes place on Crate. Either way, going to be quite interesting to see what happens. It could be their version of Hoth. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Star Wars. I love the original trilogy, but I did like The Force Awakens, but I really hope they don't do a new Empire Strikes Back and have it open with that kind of battle. We want to see something new here, but I'm sure that Rian Johnson hasn't done that. Yes, so I'm very much looking forward to see what's happened.
I mean, yeah, it's great that they're actually going to address these because I've heard as well that they're going to be putting Luke in Jeddah at some point as well. They're going to visit the relic of Jeddah in a comic as well, which I think is really exciting. They're visiting these places. It's going to give us an introduction into Crate before the film comes out. I mean, the one shot, is it coming soon? Are we expecting that?
Yes, end of October.
End of October. So we're getting already, as I say, the ramp up to this movie coming out.
Because Captain Phasma is on issue 3 so far out of its 5 or 4. I think Phasma is 4, Windu is 5 because I've got both on. I have all the Star Wars comics coming in. I mean, it's the thing. If you want to see a series dedicated to looking at the Star Wars comics or books, hit us up on Facebook or on Twitter. Let me know because I will be more than happy to do a series. I'm sure the guys would let me quite happily sit here and chat about the comics all I like. And there's a lot to do. And I do own them all. I mean, I literally own all of the single issues they have released so far. I sent the guys a picture a couple of months ago of me sitting at that point with everything so far. Like, wait, is that everything they've released? Yes.
Yeah, everything you can and comic-wise, Phil has that there. It's an impressive pile of paper, I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you ever want to do that,
trees have given their life for me. It is satisfying. No, I own all single issues because I'm trying to keep on top of it and trying to keep on top of the canon. So when we do these discussions, I can try and interject the correct point of view or the correct facts as much as I can. I do like to fact check and like to make sure that we do our best. And as Robin has actually corrected me, it didn't say Empanzi. I thought it was. I was looking at the corner of my eye. It actually says Empress because it was played by a woman. I think it was actually the costume director, if I remember correctly.
With chimpanzee eyes turned upside down, I believe.
So it's still the Empanzi.
Well, I actually like that now. I'm growing on it.
Yep, it's the Empanzi.
Just claim it, Robin. Just claim it.
Yeah, hashtag Empanzi. Yes. Oh, hashtag last tease, hashtag Empanzi. When eventually we do make it big, there's going to be some t-shirts coming out that are going to be so weird. So yes, to wrap it up, Crate is going to be featured in a one-shot coming end of October. And again, he's trying. Oh, it was played by the casting director's wife. I was close, damn it. Stop correcting me down below. Actually, no, we welcome it. We welcome anyone who wants to comment and correct us. We try our best. We are doing it live. It is a little bit more difficult if you do it live because you've got to try and remember everything on the spot. And we do try our best. And we do have scripted shows. We do put out something. We've researched it thoroughly. We do research these things thoroughly. But when you're on the spot, you do have to try and remember. It's like playing a pub quiz, except that everyone expects you to get the right answer all the time, which sucks. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Yes, comics wrapped up, nicely done. Nothing on Toy Shelf this week. Games. Now, before we go on to the Battlefront 2 bit, I'll just put in the news that I know about just because it's in my head currently. So yes, from FFG, for the tabletop side of things, we have a new release for Destiny, Star Wars Destiny, which is the new Empire War set. This is the third set that's been released this year. Out of the 4 they have planned before they do all the reprints and everything at the end of the year, wrapping it all all nicely. Along with that, on Force Friday, they released a 2-player starter set for Destiny. So they have that now that gives you all new cards for The Last Jedi, all new dice. You have everything set up for that. Along with that, we now have the latest wave of Armada and X-Wing that have been announced and released. So you've got the Chimera coming out for Armada. You've had the Hammerheads that have finally come out. I can't remember what's actually been announced coming out for Armada. And then for X-Wing, we've had actually quite 2 releases we've had announced. We've had the next wave and then the Last Jedi wave. Now, the next wave has the Alpha Attack class starship, which is the Imperial gunship from Legends. You've got a what was it for Rebels? Got my list right here, so I'm just double checking. Yes, so you have the Phantom 2 for Rebels, which is good because now you got Chopper as an astromech and that, and Fen Rao. So we'll see Fen Rao flying the Phantom 2 potentially in Rebels. So yes, that's going to be quite good. And then from there, we finally have, again, another of the old Expanded Universe ships with the M12A Caligula fighter. But then more interestingly, we had the TIE Silencer and the new bomber announced, and actually we got a name for the bomber. So unlike in the Star Wars announcement for the Resistance bomber, we now know it's called the BSF-17 bomber. So not just called the Resistance bomber, like the TIE Silencer, which I can't remember its full name because that's a really long one. We do have a name for that. So now we have all those announced, and that is it from this side. Oh, apart from Star Wars Legion was announced as well, which is a new miniatures tabletop game coming out towards the end of the year, and that is more of a skirmish war game than the traditional games we've seen so far from FFG. But yes, so that's the tabletop side of news for games, and now we will go on to Battlefront 2. So Dave, you can go back now.
Thanks. No, it's I just glass over a little bit. It's fine.
It's fine. It's one of those things. We do have people out there who I've spoken to about.
Oh no, absolutely. And the more the better. Bring it on. It's to have people all interested in different sides of Star Wars, and it's just that. I mean, you're very much into that. Don't get me wrong, I love some of the models that come with these things, but just the gameplay escapes me a bit. But I'm so glad you're in. I mean, the competition you were last in, you're getting higher and higher in the rankings as you're playing.
Yeah, Nationals was the last one. I came 100th in that. So I was 115th at the European Championships and 100th in Nationals. So I'm slowly working my way into the top 100 in kind of the country and around Europe. So yeah, I'm getting a little better.
No, hey, it's great. And one day you'll be able to come on and go, yes, I won. And then we'll do other things. We'll celebrate. But yeah, so from then, I mean, we've got the Battlefront 2 trailer that came out. Not so much a trailer, it was John Boyega narrating us through kind of what we're going to be seeing in the game. And
it started and my jaw hit the floor.
The more and more you see of it, the more it just takes your breath away. This thing looks, just by the day, that this could be one of the greatest games that's ever been released.
And the best bit about it is they listen to the fans.
It's crazy how much they're jamming into this game. I mean, they confirmed 18 planets at launch, 14 heroes, 39 vehicles. They were showing you sort of in a bar graph, sort of, this is how many are in the first game, and this is how many are in the new game, and it's just so many more.
This is without announcing all the DLC they're yet to announce, which is all free. That's the other thing they did announce back at the start of the game. They're releasing all the DLC for free. They listened to the fans, which is rare for a video game company. I think that's Lucasfilm's influence there.
Yeah, you just can't get away from how good this thing looks either. It is exceptional graphically. I mean, some of those shots you would not be like taken out of it if they were placed into some of the space battles. There's some shots of the space battle from Rogue One above
Scarif.
Thank you. And they look like they've been snapped from the movie and put on screen.
Also the shots of the Arc 170 coming into the droid command ship. That's just it takes your breath away, and that's just that. Don't forget though, clones. That's what excites me personally. It's just clone troopers, clone progression, class systems, everything they've gone through. I mean, they've announced so much. I mean, they announced this one. They confirmed Naboo, Kamino, Kashyyyk, Endor, Death Star 2, Hoth, Mos Eisley, Yavin 4, Jakku, Takodana, Starkiller Base, and they've got more on the way. And that's just the locations. The heroes they've confirmed with the different outfits, the class system progression, the fact that Finn and Captain Phasma are in it as well. They've chucked those in. They've chucked in so much information, and yet I guarantee they're leaving so much more behind.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. There's so much more we're not going to know about this. And we know that there's the first person.
Yes, with Janina Gavankar, who I can't remember what she's been. I know she is a well-known actress. She has done some music things, but yes, she's also done some video game stuff. She was in Far Cry 3, I think it was, or Far Cry 4. And yes, so she's playing the lead, Captain Iden Versio. I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with the character and playing said character. Throughout the Star Wars universe, it's going to be cracking. I can't wait to get this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive gamer, but it is something I'll be getting on day of release because I want to play this through. I want to be able to look at this and watch it. I mean, George is unfortunately missing and would tell you about his setup now he has for this game is quite unreal.
I find it hilarious that George, we have, of course, our own private chat. We discuss the shows, we discuss what's going on, we chat to each other. And it's when he complains to us that he's spending too much money and then goes, I've got to buy a new TV, I'm getting Poe's helmet, I've got everything sorted out, it's going to be wicked. Stop complaining, because you spent 160 quid on Porgs in a month. Not Porgs, on Pops.
Pops.
I wish I bought a new PS4, and then
his collection is
it's grown like that. It went from I get one, don't really like them, to I now have a cheaper. And Force Friday, he went out and bought the lot.
I was very impressed. I mean, as I say, the last show we did, I got a couple of figures on Force Friday. I was a bit underwhelmed by it all. George had such a haul; it was amazing. It's been really good. I'd quite like to have him on to talk about. Tonight's Cantina talk was literally going to be.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I bought a T-shirt, a fluffy porg, and a porg pop, and that was it.
Yeah, it was good though. I mean, it was
actually more about catching up with you than it was.
Yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, so I mean, it's Battlefront 2. It's coming October. That's bad that I don't even have that to hand. I'm very prepared for this.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. I've been busy as hell. I haven't been able to do the schedules. The guys have to do it for me, and they've let me down massively.
You're right. We normally apologise. I did the show by myself the other week. But no, it's fine. It's fine.
It's okay. Indeed, but to be fair, I was otherwise disposed that day.
It's okay. I forgive you both. So yeah, Battlefront 2, it's coming.
17th of November.
17th of November, of course it is. Not October. Who said October? It's stupid. So yeah, it's coming. It's going to be massive. I can't wait to be playing it. I can't wait to, once it's out and we've played it, and I know these two guys will play it to death. Sure. Certainly these two guys will certainly be giving you a talk through. We might even look at seeing if we can get some gameplay. I know Twitch.
George and I've got some plans in the works. We've got something coming. It's
cool.
Good.
We'll definitely have some more for you guys to see. I'll certainly be going through the first person mode and playing that game through, so I'll have something to talk about on it as well. These guys I know are heavily into it, so everything that's in the game you will hear about on here. We'll go through everything we can.
Indeed. So, tonight's Cantina Talk, we're going to do a bit of an improvised one here. We did have one planned, but unfortunately George is otherwise indisposed. It's not his fault. He wasn't told about this, so we've had to scramble. But I do actually have a topic off the top of my head, Dave.
Oh, okay.
And it comes from what I did yesterday. Now, yesterday I was in Brighton with my other half. We went to go see Fluffy, which is just a Mexican comedian who is hilarious. If you haven't seen him, go and watch him. That's a different conversation. What I mean is there's a shop in Brighton, which we went, called Sleepers Paradise. And in there, they have everything you can imagine, everything under the sun. And they specialize in specialized apparel in terms of they have geek central things, but also steampunk and things that aren't usual. But what they have is a very, very, very decent money wallet breaking cabinet of Star Wars miniatures, some models, lots of toys basically, and some Macquarie prints. I bought a beautiful Macquarie print for Empire Strikes Back with Darth Vader on the bridge of the Executive, his Star Destroyer, and it is stunning. And they have them there. They have all very good prices. It's where I bought my 1978 R2-D2 from. They've got many great things there. Now, I bought there recently. Yesterday, I bought Darth Vader from the 30th anniversary, which was 10 years ago, from 2007, with the collector's coin and all the rest of it. And I also bought the Legacy Collection Darth Vader, which is him getting shot by the lightning from Emperor Palpatine with the see-through helmet and the lightning around it, the see-through arm that comes off the hand with all the gubbins inside, all the rest of it. So my question to you, Dave, is where is your favorite place to shop secondhand that isn't online? What should be your favorite purchase of that? Because my favorite purchase that I got was probably my 1978 R2, because that's an original Kenner. It's from the very first range. And of course, now I wasn't around then. I'm only 26 years old. Yes, I'm a lot older than George, and unfortunately, Dave, you're a lot older than myself. I do have toys from my childhood, but this was something that I've always wanted, something older, and that was my favorite find so far. What for you has been your prize?
I mean, where I shop mostly, I'm from the Northeast, if you can tell from this lovely accent of mine. So in Newcastle,
I'm from down south.
So yeah, we have a couple of places. So Newcastle City Centre, which is a beautiful city centre if anyone ever came up. They've got a big Forbidden Planet now. It's the second only to London's Forbidden Planet. They've just redone it. It has lost a bit of that geek smell. You know what I'm talking about, that smell. When you go to some of these places, because it's a very small shop before.
I must admit, actually, to drop you there before you go into your criticism, I must admit, when I go to tournaments, I do take an extra can deodorant with me at all times, because gaming stank comes from somewhere, and I will not be a part of it. I always carry a spare can for everyone, so that we can outsource. Anyway, continue.
I love it. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a big Forbidden Planet, and I spent a lot of my time before the move to the new store. I haven't been in the new store so much; it's lost a bit of its. It's lost a bit of something with a bit of magic when it moved to the new store. It's very shiny and glass and at the new place, but still great to get your things. But there's a place called the Granger Market, which is at the top of the street in Newcastle, and it is just like a big covered marketplace. But inside there are two shops that sell all sorts, like secondhand stuff, like rare things you can find, pops galore, like exclusives and old figures. And I think before that, there was even there was a store over the road from Forbidden Planet where I went and I bought, it was a carded C-3PO, an original Kenner C-3PO. The blister was a little bit broken, but I didn't know any better back then. I was 18, 19 when I went to first getting these things. Like, oh, I'll go and buy one of these. And I think that's probably one of my best purchases that I got. He was there, and it was an original Kenner, and that's an original Kenner figure since.
I'm noticing a lot of past tense here, Dave. What happened to it?
Oh, well, when I fell out with Star Wars collecting, I think I said before, after a while. So some of these things that I've purchased have long gone, unfortunately. I now have no original carded figures from the Kenner line. I do have I'm going through them and collecting them again. I've got about 45 of the original 96 Kenner figures, which I adore. That I just
the Power of the Force.
The original Kenner line, before Power of Force was even a thing. So so I've got about 40 of those figures. But yeah, I think my favorite purchase was that first time buying a Kenner carded figure.
Yeah,
I remembered from when I was a young lad. When I used to walk in, there was a toy shop in Sunderland City Centre called Joseph's. When I was tiny, when I was like 5 or 6, and you'd go up the stairs, and their wall, as you turned around, was just wall to wall Star Wars, like original Kenner on every. You've probably seen photos online when you see the pictures of how the old figures look. I remember seeing that, just wall to wall, these figures for like £1.59 for these things that are now hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Yeah. But yes, I mean, they're the two shops that I mainly go to in the Granger Market. They have some gems. Some of them are a bit overpriced. They've got a Cantina band boxed from the Kenner line, but it's like £150. They've got the R2 you're talking about, carded. Condition's great, but they want like £300 from. Like, no.
Carded for me, I don't mind.
Oh, Phil, I've lost your. I've got a buzz and I don't have any sound for you, sir. So I'll talk while you're having a look at that. But so they're what I was into. That's what I love still. The Kenner line I will complete one day. That and the Black Series is sort of my main focus of collection. But yeah, to get a shop, and I think if everyone goes out, they've got this favorite place that they like to go, and they can see some of the things that they would never have been able to get as a child, and those things speak to you, and it still does to me to see original kind of figures on a card. That's my heaven. That's what I want more than anything. I'd love to have more of those collection. I'd love to have more of the original Kenner on card backs, just displayed everywhere for people to see. They were things. I hate the kind of class of, oh, this is art. Yes, they're toys. They're figures at the end of the day, but they're so special in what they were and what they meant to me. And still now, it really does. How are we doing, Phil? You doing all right, you?
I should be back now. Unfortunately, it won't be the nice I have been using. So, yes, or just to bear, unfortunately, I can't afford any of the nice carded figures. I think for me, the dream purchase would be an original carded Vader and an original carded Luke. But that's neither here nor there. This was talked about the other day, and I love this shop. I'll have to, what at some point we'll have to do is do a little challenge of you go to the place you like to buy secondhand stuff. George will send him off to somewhere. I'll go down to Super's Paradise. We'll buy something. We'll set a limit, buy something, send it to each other, open it up live on air, and we'll do a review of what the surprise gifts we sent to each other. Like we'll do a Secret Santa, something like that, and we'll do that as a nice little Christmas special. How about that, Dave?
That's actually an awesome idea. I really, really like that.
Okay, we will work on that then.
I think that's an excellent idea going to because obviously there'll be shows coming over the festive period. We'll have just seen hashtag Last Jedi. So that is an awesome. I actually really, really like that Secret Santa. We buy something on a limit, send it out, and we'll see what each person's got. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
Indeed. And that'll wrap up tonight's show. I'm glad you can join us. I'm glad that I could be back finally on video form. It's taken me a while to get there. I actually ended up just buying a new webcam just for the laptop because I couldn't get the other one working. The internal one, for some reason, it's knackered. I don't know what the hell went wrong with that. But anyway, yes, so we're the ones of the Force. The Force will be with you. Good night.